Saying goodbye to a beloved animal companion is just as hard as saying goodbye to a loved one when their time comes. Today's story reminds us that the bonds we share with animals run as deep as those we share with humans. Don't forget to like this video to help us reach 7K and subscribe for more amazing stories. Welcome to Wonderbot Animals. Her horse wasn't just a pet. He was a partner in adventure and a cherished friend. The young woman, with trembling hands, reached out to gently stroke the horse's still warm neck. The horse lay peacefully on the lush grass, its majestic form now forever stilled. Its coat glistened in the dying light, and the last glimmers of life lingered in its eyes. The world might continue to turn, but in this moment, nothing else mattered. The departure of the horse was a loss that cut very deep. As she knelt there by her horse, her hands still gently stroking his mane, the memories of their shared adventures began to play before her eyes. She remembered the first day she had met the horse, a gangly foal with bright eyes and boundless curiosity. The horse had grown alongside her, and together they had explored the hidden corners of the countryside and galloped through the fields. One particular memory stood out, etched in her mind with vivid detail. It was a day like today, with the sun setting in a fiery blaze. They had ridden together, the wind in their hair and laughter in their hearts. The horse's hooves pounded the earth, a rhythmic beat that had become the soundtrack of their adventures. The bond they shared was palpable, a connection that transcended the physical realm. The sun had dipped below the horizon, casting the world in shadows. The woman, still kneeling beside her departed friend, realized that it was time to say a final farewell. With a heavy heart, she gently laid her hand on the horse's chest and leaned down to press a kiss on the horse's velvety nose. She whispered, "Thank you for the love, the memories, and the companionship, my dear friend. You'll always hold a special place in my heart." As she turned away from the horse's lifeless form, she felt the full weight of sadness. It was not just the loss of a pet, but the absence of a loyal companion who had been with her through life's highs and lows. The horse had been a steadfast source of strength, a shoulder to lean on, and a confidant to share secrets with. In the days that followed, the young woman would navigate difficult days full of grief. The barn that once echoed with the horse's presence now stood in quiet solitude, a stark reminder of the absence of hoofbeats and nickers. The feed trough, the saddle, and the worn path through the fields were all silent. Grief was a complex and unpredictable emotion, and it ebbed and flowed every day. Some days, the young woman would find herself overwhelmed by sadness. On other days, she would smile as she recalled the cherished memories she shared with her horse. One evening, as she sat in the barn, the dim light casting long shadows, she found herself immersed in an old photo album filled with pictures of her and her horse. In one picture, they stood on a hill, the vast expanse of the countryside stretching out before them. The horse nuzzled her cheek, and the woman's face radiated pure joy. She remembered that day vividly, the sense of freedom and connection that had filled her heart. In another photo, they were curled up together under a blanket on a cold winter night. The horse's warm breath created a cloud of mist in the chill air, and the woman laughed, her fingers entwined with the horse's mane. It was a memory of comfort and companionship that had sustained her through difficult times. In the weeks that followed, the woman found solace in the routines they had established. She would visit the barn daily, brushing down the horse's empty stall and talking to the memories that lingered in the air. It was a form of therapy, a way to keep the connection alive even in the absence of her beloved friend. She also began to find comfort in the stories and support from others who had experienced similar losses. Friends and neighbors shared their own tales of beloved pets and the profound impact they had on their lives. The stories were filled with laughter, tears, and a deep understanding of the pain she was going through. One neighbor, an elderly man with a weathered face and a lifetime of experiences, told her about his own horse, a faithful companion who had been by his side for over 2 decades. He spoke of the adventures they had shared, the trails they had blazed, and the solace he had found in the horse's presence. His words were a reminder that the pain of loss was a testament to the depth of the love that had been shared. With time, the woman began to heal, though the scars of her loss remained etched in her heart. She knew that her horse's departure was not the end of their story, but a chapter in a lifelong bond that transcended the physical realm. The memories, the love, and the connection they had shared would live on forever. The seasons changed and life moved forward. The barn once again echoed with the sounds of hoofbeats, but this time it was a new horse, a young foal with bright eyes and boundless curiosity. The woman had decided to open her heart to a new companion, knowing that the love she had to give was too great to be contained. As she watched the foal explore its new surroundings, she felt a mix of emotions: joy, hope, and a tinge of sadness. The new horse would never replace the one she had lost, but it would carry on the legacy of love and companionship, and together they would create new memories and adventures. The woman knew that her departed horse was watching over them, a silent guardian from the heavens. The bond they had shared was not bound by mortality. It was a love that defied the constraints of time and space. As she stood in the barn, watching the new foal with a smile on her face, she whispered to the wind, "Thank you for the love, the memories, and the companionship, my dear friend. You'll always hold a special place in my heart." With those words, she felt the presence of her departed horse, a comforting embrace that reminded her that love, in all its forms, was a force that transcended the boundaries of life and death. What do you think of today's story? If you've experienced the loss of a pet, share a bit of their life with you down in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and share if you know of anyone dealing with the loss of a pet in any shape or form. See you next time.